Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Hey, Wing Chun, how's it going? Casey Clayton, nice of you to join. Joshua, hey, Hope, glad you could join. Ray Lumia, hello. Owen, how's it going? Nikki, nice of you to join. Doop, doop. Claire, what's up? All right, guys. This is a little different. It's a little different. Okay, we're meeting on a Tuesday, not a Monday. What's up, Dan? How's it going? Hey, Cloud. Hey, Mittens. How's it going? Axel Boy. Alexandra. Greetings from the USA. Boop, boop. Hey, do you guys know about this? I can create a poll. Huh. Okay, I'm not a good streamer. Well, I'm new to the streaming thing. Okay. I can make a poll. You guys know that? All right, let me make a poll. Are you alive? There's a poll. I don't know how you guys answer, but Peepzilla, how's it going? Hey, Greek. How do I see the results of this poll? Okay. Surprise. Wait, I only see no's. What? Oh, yes is winning with 53%. So apparently there's 47% who are dead. Who are dead inside. True, true. All right. Oh, just a short thing. Okay. Public service announcement. Does anyone have student loans? Do you guys know about the student loan plan, the student loan forgiveness plan? If you don't, wait, how do I close the poll? Okay, closing it. If you don't, okay, apparently, you may have relief. So you may have $10,000 in debt forgiven. Okay, and if you have Pell Grants, then maybe up to $20,000. So you might want to look it up. Yeah, if your income is less than 125K or 250 for households. But if it is, you might have your debt canceled. I don't know. I don't think they have a. I think they say it's the. Yeah, the process has not officially opened yet. So, yeah, maybe wait until they notify us as to how to do that. But yeah. What's up, Katie? Nice of you to join. Hey, Losh. Kerry Fernandez, how's it going? All right. You haven't made a single payment and you left college like 12 years ago. Nice. Good job. Okay. All right. Something happened yesterday, okay? Yeah, good thing we didn't have the stream yesterday. Because I don't think I would have been able to make it at 6 o'clock. All right. I don't know, guys. I must have angered the gods or something because this month has been rough. It's been rough. So yesterday, I woke up to a voice message. Okay. So I played the voice message. So I wake up. I see this voice message. I play it, and the person on the other line goes, "Oh, this is so and so from the police department. Do you know where your car is? It may have been broken into." And I'm like, "What?" So I run out, and so usually I'm parked at my carport, right next to my house. But there's been some construction the last month, so I've been like parking my car, around the neighborhood, right, in different places around the neighborhood. So I run. So it takes a little while, right? So I run out to the street, right, to where I parked my car. So I'm walking. And walking. I half expect the car to be gone. All right. But I'm walking, and thank God I see the car parked right there where I parked, right? So I get closer. And at first it looks okay, right? There doesn't seem like there's any damage. But as I got closer and I looked at the driver's side door, the window was broken on my driver's side door, just smashed completely. Yeah. Glass all over the place. Sucked. So I'm like, crap. So I go, I unlocked the door. I looked around, right? Looked in the back, looked in on the back seat. I looked everywhere, in the glove compartment. So nothing was stolen. Okay. And I looked at the car behind me. There was one car parked behind me, and his window was also smashed. So it looks like it must have been some like dumb kids, or a drunk dude or something. Maybe. Yeah. It's just vandalism. I know. Yeah, it was smashed. It wasn't stolen. It's just some vandalism. I was like, God damn it. Yeah, so that's what happened. So I had to clean up all the glass, which sucks, right? Who knew that windows have so much glass? It was all over the place. Just one smashed window. Yeah, I had to clean it up. It took about an hour and a half. Yeah, then afterwards, luckily, I was able to call a place that does like an auto shop that does same day service. Yeah, so I drove over there, and I got it fixed on the same day. Yeah, they make the windows just smash like that. Did I get angry? No, I didn't get angry. I was just annoyed that it was such a waste of time. The whole day, my whole morning and afternoon gone. Yeah, I'm just cleaning up the glass and taking this place to the card shop. Yeah, I didn't get angry. I usually don't get angry. It's very hard to get me angry. Maybe they thought there weren't anything worth stealing. Well, yeah, I don't leave anything worth stealing in my car, right? Yeah, so they didn't steal anything. I had sunglasses and glasses for driving, and that's it. I didn't have that much. Am I from California? Yes, you are correct. Good evening, Aaron. How's it going? What's up, Bigfoot? Nice of you to join. What happened? My car was broken into. That's it. Some people are just jerks. Yeah. Oh, poll. Wait, how do I end? Is the poll still there? Oh, end poll. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes, 65%. No, 34%. Good job, guys. Your friend lives in Pleasanton. He complains about the fact that he's always scared his Tesla is going to get broken into. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for getting a Tesla. See, I'm smart. I have a cheap ass car, okay? So they know there's nothing in there to steal. I have a Toyota Prius. 2011. Man, that thing is stable. Well, it's been 11 years? Oh god. Haven't had to fix it at all. That's your strategy too? Good job. All right. I have this from Boxu. I think I almost finished my Boxu box. What am I going to do? All right. This is Sakura Sweet Cookie. It says, sweet cookie, tasteful, and good flavor. Thanks. Did I eat this already? I might have. I think I did. Oh, it's Sakura. Pretty good. It has hearts. Okay. It's pretty sweet, but not too sweet. Yeah. There's a little hints of Sakura, but not too much. It tastes like a sugar cookie. So it's a 8 out of 10. How about that? We're already at the end of summer and he's still finishing up his Sakura themed snack. Look, this is a Sakura themed box I got from Boxu like months ago, okay? We're still going through it. There's so much in it. Carrie, you leave the trash in the car. You leave trash in the car to discourage break-ins. Oh no, it's really just you're really just gross. Okay, got it. I can't stand trash in the car, guys. Like if people leave chips bags or something, I can't stand it. Why do you do that? Throw it away. Disgusting. Disgusting. I love you though. Your Boxu lasted about 4 days. All right. Shall we get started? All right. What happened last week in our story? Okay. So last week, our hero, big news last week. Okay, a lot of things happened. So our hero, Xiaofeng and Aju, they meet Duan Yu's dad, Duan Zhengchun. Okay. And so if you remember, Madame Ma from the Beggars Clan revealed that this Duan Zhengchun guy is the leader of that expedition a long time ago that killed Xiaofeng's parents. So they meet him. Duan Zhengchun is fighting against the four evils, and Xiaofeng saves him from dying at the hands of these four evils. But he challenges him to meet at this bridge at night because he plans to kill him. All right. So that night, Aju, she feels sick. So Xiaofeng goes to the bridge by himself. And when he sees Duan Zhengchun arrive, he attacks him with this palm strike. But then we find out that it's not Duan Zhengchun. It's Aju in disguise. Right? So she disguised herself as Duan Zhengchun. And he gives her a palm strike. And she doesn't know martial arts that much, right? So she's like dying from this palm strike, and um, and Xiao Feng is like, why? And it's revealed that she's actually a daughter of Duan Zhengchun. She just realized it when she saw the other daughter, Ah Zi, had a character Duan tattooed on her shoulder and a golden locket. And Aju has the same tattoo and a similar locket. So she realized that she was also a daughter of that guy. So Xiao Feng is like, why did you do this? And she says, well, because she doesn't want him to kill Duan Zhengchun. Not because he's her father, but because once he kills this guy, the royal family of Dali will be on his ass, right? They'll never forgive him. So she does it. So she's doing it to save his life, okay? Not because she cares about her father, because he's like an absentee father, right? So she's scared that the people of Dali will be too powerful. It might be too powerful for him. So she's giving up her life to make him drop this plan of revenge. And then she dies. Dun dun dun. All right, that's what happened. How's that? What's up, Tercero? Hey, I'm doing well. How you doing? Everyone is Duan Yu's sister? True. Oh, Losh, you're Chinese? You're also probably Duan Yu's sister. 1 second. All right. You ready? Chapter 23, Part 2. Oh, no geography? Oh, I forgot. Remind me to do it after the reading, okay? All right, so here Xiao Feng is at the house, that one house by the river, and he reads a poem. Right, so he's at the place in the river, place near the river where he wanted to see if Duan Zhengchun is still there, but Duan Zhengchun is gone. Everyone is gone from this house, and he goes in. He sees this poem and he reads it. So. Bells from my window? Yeah. Bells from my window. You've served me well. Car window. As he was not a learned man, the words he knew were limited. However, this poem did not have any difficult characters, so he could see that it was a romantic, amorous poem. It seemed the poem talked about drinking wine, getting shy, singing, how the people in the poem met each other for a while, but would separate for a long time, and how sad they felt about that. He looked confusedly at the scroll and was in no mood to understand what the poem was about. He only absently read it from start to finish, and he saw 2 rows of words written below the poem. A record of the visit I paid Ju Mei, my dear Ju, in my youth, to supplement the wall. Having a partner with eyes bright like stars and waist slender like a bamboo in my company, I have lost my awareness of heaven and earth, years and months. Duan II of Dali, scrolling in his intoxication. Okay, so this is Duan Zhengchun writing. Xiao Feng mumbled. He was really happy. Having a partner with eyes bright like stars, and a waist slender like a bamboo in his company. He lost awareness of heaven and earth. Years and months. Duan the second of Dao Li scrawled in his intoxication. Duan the second of Dao Li. So this scroll was written by Duan Zhengchun to give his lover, Ran Xingju, and was about the affair between Aju's father and mother. How can they hang it openly here? Have they no shame? Ah, that's right. Duan Zhengchun's subordinates can't come in this room. At once he stopped paying attention to the scroll, thinking, what should I write on Aju's grave tablet? Oh yeah, he plans to kill himself too, right? Because he dug 2 graves. He knew that with his shallow command of language, even if he considered more, he would not come up with anything. So he wrote 4 words, the grave of Aju. Then he put the brush down and rose to his feet. He wanted to plant the bamboo tablets before the holes, bury Aju carefully, then commit suicide. He turned around and carried Aju's body in his arms. His eyes caught sight of the scroll on the wall again. Suddenly, he jumped up and exclaimed, Aiyo! And then he said loudly, Wrong! Wrong! This matter is wrong! He took 1 step towards the scroll and looked at the several rows of words on it again. He saw that the handwriting was round, smooth, elegant, and unconstrained. It seemed as if there was a voice saying loudly in his mind, That letter! The letter the leading big brother wrote to Chief Wang. Its words ain't like this. They're totally different to this. Having only a limited knowledge of characters, he should not be able to recognize a person's handwriting, but the characters on this scroll were beautiful and skillful and had neat spacing. The characters on that letter, on the other hand, were skewed and angular. At first sight, anybody could know that it was the handwriting of a man of martial arts in Jianghu. The difference between the 2 styles of writing really was so big that anyone would recognize it. He gazed at the characters on the scroll with his eyes wide open. It seemed he wanted to look for the big secrets and big schemes hidden in these several rows of characters. His mind was in a whirl and full of thoughts of the letter that he had seen in the apricot forest outside the city of Wuxia that evening. The letter that the leading big brother wrote to Chief Wang. Venerable Ji Guang had torn off the signature of the letter and swallowed it into his stomach to make him unable to know who had written the letter. But the handwriting of the letter had been engraved deeply and clearly on his mind. The writer of the letter and Duan the second of Dao Li, who wrote this scroll, were definitely not the same person. There was no doubt about it. Ooh. Hey, Steph Barron, thanks so much. I appreciate it. So he didn't do it, and Aju died for nothing. Yeah. Well, hold on. The story is still going. Okay, so it looks like Duan Zhengchun's handwriting is different from that that leader of that expedition, okay? The leading big brother. Okay. So, not the same people. So either Madame Ma was mistaken or she was intentionally lying. What do you think? Oh, we can do polls, right? Okay, let's do a poll. Was Madame Ma lying? Bitch lied. But could the leading big brother entrust the task of writing the letter to another person? After pondering a little, he knew this was definitely impossible, because Duan Zhengchun was capable of easily writing this kind of nice-looking characters. He certainly was a man who was familiar with penmanship. If he wanted to write a letter to Chief Wang to discuss such an important matter, what reasons could he have to ask another person to write the letter on his behalf? and he had no reason to ask another person to write an amorous poem for his own lover on his behalf. The more he thought, the more doubtful he became. He thought repeatedly, could it be that leading Big Brother isn't Duan Zhengchun? Could it be this scroll wasn't written by Duan Zhengchun? Impossible. Impossible. Besides Duan Zhengchun, how can there be another Duan II of Dali who wrote this kind of amorous poem and hung it here? Could it be Madame Ma lied? That's also impossible. She and Duan Zhengchun don't know each other. One in the north, one in the south. One is a widow of a rustic fellow, and one is a member of the nobility. What enmity between them can there be that she could make up lies on purpose to trick me? Okay. And Paul. Was Madame Ma lying? Yes. Okay. I think most people say yes. Amorous? Like romantic. Like having to do with love. That's the definition. Can you still vote if you know the story? Oh. Yeah, probably don't vote if you know the story. Hey, Lieutenant Gonville Bromhead. How's it going? I appreciate it. Thanks for being a member. After he had known that the leading big brother was Duan Zhengchun, all the doubts and suspicions in his mind had been swept away, and he had only been thinking about how to get revenge. At this moment, when he saw the calligraphic scroll, all kinds of doubts and suspicions emerged in his mind. So she's either a former lover of Daddy Duan or another daughter. But why would a daughter want to kill her father? So all kinds of doubts and suspicions emerged in his mind. If that letter wasn't written by Duan Zhengchun, then the leading big brother isn't him. If it's not him, then who's the leading big brother? Why did Madame Ma want to lie to other people? What cunning schemes and conspiracies are there in this? I killed Aju by mistake, but Aju was willing to die for me. This way, a layer of unredressed wrong has been added to her. Unredressed wrong. Why didn't I see this scroll before? But this scroll has been hung in a room in the wings. How could I see it? If I had died to follow Aju without seeing it, that would have been a case of death ending all troubles. Why didn't I see it earlier or later? Why did I see it just a short while before my death? Like an Oedipus complex? The setting sun was about to disappear behind the mountains. The last sunbeams gradually got away from his insteps. Suddenly, he heard two people advancing towards the bamboo forest from the side of the little mirror lake. These two people were still far. Concentrating his mind and listening, he noticed that the incoming people were two women. He thought, probably Azi and her mother are coming. I want to ask Madame Duan if this scroll was written by Duan Zhengchun. Of course, she extremely hates me for killing Aju. She surely wants to kill me. At first, he wanted to strike back under no circumstances, but he immediately changed his mind. If Aju really died unjustly, then it's another person who killed my... If Aju really died unjustly, then it's another person who killed my father and mother. And so this prime villain has borne one more blood debt and one more life. Could it be that Aju wasn't harmed to death by him? If I don't settle this score, how will I be able to die easily? He heard the two women draw closer and closer and go into the bamboo forest. Then, after a short while, he also heard the sounds of their conversation. One woman said, "Be careful. This harlot doesn't have good martial arts, but she's up to all cunning tricks." The other woman, who was young, replied, "She's all by herself. Mom, you and I will always be able to finish her off." The considerably older woman said, "Say no more. Once we go into action, let's use the most dangerous skills. There's no need to hesitate." The young woman said, "If father knows..." That senior woman said, "You still call him father? Oh no." Who can this be? After that, there was no sound of talking, but he heard the two women going with stealthy steps. One of them went to the main entrance, and the other went to the back of the house. Apparently, they wanted to jointly attack from the front and the rear. Xiaofeng was rather mystified, thinking, judging from their voices, these two women aren't Ran Xingzhu and Ah Zi, but they're a mother and daughter, too. They've come here to kill a lone woman. Oh, probably they want to kill Ran Xingzhu, but that girl's father disapproves of this. This matter had flashed through his mind, but he did not pay attention to it any longer. He was still sitting in a trance. After a while, a creaky ya sound was heard as someone shoved open the door and came in. Xiaofeng did not raise his head in the least. He saw a pair of fine feet in black shoes walked up to him and stopped at a distance of about 4 qi. After that, the side window was pushed open and a person leapt in and stood next to him. Hearing the sound of that person's leap, he knew they did not excel in martial arts. Still, he did not raise his head. With Aju in his arms, he pondered deeply. The leading big brother is Duan Zhengchun, or is he not? Is there anything unusual in Venerable Xi Guang's words? Did Elder Shu have any cunning scheme? Is there a flaw in Madame Ma's words? Truly, thoughts were surging up in his mind like the tidewater, and he was utterly confused. He heard the young woman ask, "Hey, who are you? Where's that harlot, Ran?" Her voice was cold, and her tone was totally disrespectful. Xiaofeng did not pay attention to her. He was only thinking about all kinds of suspicions. The older woman said, "Is there any connection between you, sir, and that harlot, Ran Xingzhu? Who's this woman? Quickly say." Xiaofeng still paid no attention to her. The young woman said loudly, "Are you deaf or dumb? Why don't you say a word?" Her tone was brimming with anger. Still, Xiaofeng ignored her and kept sitting motionless and like a stone statue. That young woman made a stamp. The long sword in her hand slightly shook, and the blade shook. With a buzzing noise, she thrust the sword at Xiaofeng's temple at an angle. When its tip was only several cun away from his temple, she shouted, "If you keep acting the fool, I'll let you taste a bit of misery." Xiaofeng was in a very dangerous situation, but he did not care about it in the least. He was only considering all kinds of unanswered doubts and suspicions. The young girl slightly pushed her arm forwards. The longsword was thrust forwards, and it went past the side of his neck at a distance of around 1 cun. Xiaofeng heard clearly the approaching direction of the sword, so he did not dodge or parry it, as if he was totally unaware of it. The two women looked at each other in amazement. The young girl said, "Mom, could this fellow be an idiot? The girl he was carrying seems to be dead already." The woman said, "He's probably acting fool. There can't be any good thing in the house of this harlot. Give him a hack of the saber first. Then we'll torture and interrogate him." Just as she finished saying this, she brought the saber in her left hand down on Xiaofeng's shoulder. Man, it doesn't take much for these people to kill someone, huh? Xiaofeng waited until the saber was half a qi away from his shoulder to turn over his right hand, stretch it out forwards, and catch the back of the blade with 2 of his fingers. The saber seemed to be fixed to the air and stopped coming down. He slightly pressed forwards with his fingers. The handle of the saber at once hit an important acupuncture point on the shoulder of that woman, rendering her immobile. Then, conveniently, he slightly shook his hand. His internal energy was channeled in the blade, and the steel saber was snapped in two with a pai sound. He tossed the section in his hand on the floor conveniently. All along, he did not raise his head and look at the woman. He's just showing off at this point. The young girl, seeing that her mother had been subdued by him, was very frightened. She leapt backwards. Continuous chi-chi sounds were heard as she shot 7 short arrows at him. Xiaofeng picked up the broken saber and knocked all the arrows down with one stroke. Then he slightly waved his hand, and the broken saber flew out. With the pie sound, the handle of the saber hit her waist. Ah! The young girl cried. An acupuncture point of hers had been hit squarely, and she was immediately rendered motionless. He paralyzed both of them. That woman asked in fright, "Are you injured?" The young girl replied, "My waist is hurting a lot, but I'm not injured. Mom, he's blocked my Jingmen acupoint." The woman said, "He hit my Zhongfu acupoint. This fellow's martial arts are very formidable." The young girl said, "Mom, who is this fellow? How could he best the two of us without standing up? I think he probably used some evil technique." The woman dared not be fierce anymore. She said to Xiaofeng mildly, "There's no enmity between me, my daughter, and you, sir. Just now we went into action rashly and offended you. It was our fault. I pray that you are magnanimous and will go easy on us." The young girl hastily said, No, we've been defeated, that's all. Why should we ask for forgiveness? I don't like it. If you have the guts, then just kill me with the hack of the saber." Xiaofeng vaguely heard the words of the mother and her daughter. He only knew that the mother had begged for mercy, and the daughter was very stubborn, but he paid no attention to what they had said, not even a single sentence. By now it was already pitch dark inside the house. After a while it got completely dark. Xiaofeng had always sat the original place, carrying Aju and not making a move. Oh, she still has Aju on his shoulder. Ordinarily, he was very quick-witted, and when encountering difficulties, he had always been very fast in decision-making. If there was something that he was unable to understand, he would put it aside at once and temporarily ignore it, and he would definitely not hesitate or waver. But having accidentally killed Aju today, he was exceedingly grieved and had become dazed and benighted. It seemed as if he was just a demented madman. That woman said in a low voice, "Try to rush your internal energy to the Huantao acupoint. Maybe that would affect the channels, and you'd be able to open the blocked acupoint." The young girl said, "I already tried it. Totally useless." The woman suddenly said, "Hush! Someone is coming." The crunch of footsteps was heard. Then someone pushed the door open and came in. It was also a woman. With several ta-ta sounds, that woman used a fire-striking knife and a flint to set the kindling of fire. Next, she lit the oil lamp. When she turned around and suddenly saw Xiaofeng, Aju, and the two women, she could not help exclaiming an "ah" sound. Never could she have thought that there were other people in the house. So, when suddenly seeing four people, either sitting or standing, of whom all were being motionless, she jumped out of her skin at once. Her hands loosened, and the fire-striking knife and the flint dropped, making two clanking noises. Suddenly, the woman who had entered the house earlier shouted severely, "Ran Xingju, it's you!" The woman who had just entered the house was none other than Ran Xingju. Turning around, she saw that the person who had just said this was a middle-aged woman with a young girl, who was wearing only black clothes beside her. These two people were rather beautiful, especially the young girl, but she had never seen both of them. Ran Xingju said, "Right, I'm Ran. Who are you two?" The middle-aged woman did not answer. She only continuously looked at her carefully. Her face was full of fury. Ran Xingju turned around and said to Xiaofeng, "Chief Chao, you already killed my daughter. What are you still doing here? My poor daughter." As she finished saying this, she wept loudly and rushed to Aju's body. Xiaofeng kept sitting in a daze. After a good while, he said, "Madame Duan, my sin is serious. I beg you to draw a knife and kill me." Ran Xingju sobbed, "Even if I killed you with the slash of the knife, I wouldn't be able to revive my poor daughter. Chief Chiao, you said I and Aju's father made a blunder that we've been ashamed of, and harmed a child to the point of being wretched for life, and not knowing its own parents. These words are true, but If you wanted to defend somebody against an injustice, you should have found Prince Duan and killed him. Why did you kill my Aju? In this moment, Xiao Feng's mind was rather slow. Only after a short while did he shiver with fear in his heart, asking, "Oh, what's the blunder that you've been ashamed of?" Ran Xingju wept, saying, "You already know clearly. Why do you insist on asking me? Both Aju and Azi are my daughters. I didn't dare bring them home, so I gave them to other people." Xiao Feng said in a quavering voice, "Yesterday I asked Duan Zhengchun if he had made a blunder that he'd been ashamed of. He admitted, frankly. So this shameful matter was only giving Aju and Azi to strangers?" Ran Xingju said angrily, "I already did this shameful thing. How can it still be insufficient? What bad kind of woman who specializes in doing shameful things do you think I am?" Xiao Feng said, "Yesterday, Duan Zhengchun also said, 'Heaven has shown pity on me, and today allow me to meet a parentless child of that year again.'" When he said now he had met this parentless child again, he was talking about Azi and not me. Ran Xingju said angrily, "Why should he want to talk about you? Are you the child he abandoned to other people? What rot are you talking? Could I give birth to an animal like you?" She detested Xiao Feng, but afraid of his outstanding martial arts, she dared not go into action and only scolded him. Xiao Feng said, "Then, when I asked why he has still continuously committed one wrongdoing after another, since why did he admit that his conduct had been improper and his virtue had been deficient?" Ran Xingju's cheeks, which were covered with tears, slightly reddened. She said, He has a loose nature. It's always been so. After he's played around with one woman, he'd play around with a second woman, the third woman, a fourth woman, debauching himself with one after another. But who needs you to meddle in other people's business?" Xiao Feng mumbled, "Wrong, completely wrong." After being in a daze for a long time, suddenly he stretched out his hand and slapped himself heavily in the face, making continuous pie sounds. Wait, do I have that? Yeah. Debauching definition? Like shaming himself? He shamed himself with one after another. Or I think like it's like shaming yourself with lust. Something like that. Debauching. Corrupting himself? Okay. That counts, right? Something like that. Seduce, ravish. Wait. Defile. Sully. Oh, he dirtied himself. Corrupted himself. Frightened, Ran Jingju jumped to her feet and retreated some steps. She only saw that Xiao Feng kept beating himself with all his strength, and every blow of the palm was very heavy. After a short while, his cheeks had already swollen up considerably. Wow. Does he want to kill himself by slapping his cheeks? It's already swollen up. Then a soft "yeah" sound was heard as someone else pushed the door open and came in. This person cried, "Mom, have you taken that scroll?" She was none other than Ah Zi. Before she had finished saying anything, she saw other people in the house and saw Xiao Feng was repeatedly beating himself with his right hand while carrying Ah Ju with his left. So she could not help being so frightened that she was dumbfounded. Xiao Feng's cheeks swelled, then their skin broke. Wow. After that, his face and his hand were full of fresh blood. Then blood spattered ceaselessly on the walls. Jesus. The table, the chairs, everything was spattered with blood. Even Aju's body and that scroll hanging on the wall were also covered with small red drops of blood. Because Ran Xingju could not bear to see this brutal sight, she covered up her eyes with both hands. However, she still heard the continuous pai, pai sounds. So she called out, Don't beat anymore! Don't beat anymore! Azu squealed, Hey, don't dirty the words my father wrote, or I'll ask you for compensation. She jumped onto the table, stretched out her hands, and took the scroll that was hanging on the wall. It turned out she and her mother returned only to fetch this calligraphic scroll. Startled, Xiaofang stopped beating and asked, Is this Duan the second of Dali really Duan Zhengchun? Ran Xingju countered, Other than him, who else? When she mentioned Duan Zhengchun's name, she could not help showing a feeling of compassionate pride on her face. These several words cleared up a doubt in Xiaofang's mind. This scroll was really written by Duan Zhengchun. That letter to Chief Wang was not written by him. And so the leading big brother probably is not Duan Zhengchun. A thought immediately emerged in his mind. There must be very important secret facts in Madame Ma's setting up Duan Zhengchun. I should untie this knot first, and everything will come to light. As he thought so, his intention of committing suicide disappeared at once. The beating he had given himself just now had left his face covered with fresh blood, but thanks to it, he had been able to vent the remorse and sorrow in his heart. Thereupon, he rose, carrying Aju's body in his arms. That's how a man does it, okay? He slaps himself and then gets rid of his emotions. Azu, having seen the two bamboo tablets he had written on the table, said laughingly, Haha, no wonder I saw two holes outside. I've been puzzled. So you want to die and be buried together with my sister? Well, you're really too passionate. Xiaofang replied, I accidentally fell into the cruel trap of a villain and harmed Aju to death. Now I must find that villain and avenge her first. Then I'll follow her to the underworld. Azu asked, Who's that villain? At the moment, I have no clue. I'll go investigate this. As he finished saying this, he went out with large strides, carrying Aju. Azu laughed and said, Are you going to find the villain while carrying my sister like this? Xiaofeng was slightly nonplussed. Temporarily, he had no idea. He thought that if he carried Aju's body to go on a 1,000-li-long journey, it would eventually be improper. But it was difficult for him to let go of her, because he was really attached. He looked at Aju's face in a daze. Tears rolled straight down his gory, damaged face. Mixed with fresh blood, the tears became reddish drops and fell onto Aju's pale face. Truly, this was dripping with tears of blood. Nonplussed? Where is that? I think it just means confused. Like he's confused, kind of in a daze. Yeah, surprised and confused so much that they're unsure how to react. Confused, bewildered, bemused, puzzled. The opposite of plussed. When Ran Xingju saw his heart-rending situation, all her abhorrence of him vanished in an instant. She said, Chief Chow, this blunder was already done. It's already impossible to redeem. You... Originally, she wanted to advise him to restrain his grief, but she herself could not refrain from bursting into tears. She said tearfully, It's all because I'm no good. It's all because I'm no good. Why did I give my nice daughter to other people? Suddenly, the young girl who had been rendered motionless by Xiaofeng interrupted. Of course it's all because you're no good. Other people were being happy husband and wife. Why did you come and break up their family? Ron Xingju raised her head and asked the young girl, What? Oh, wait. Oh, this is the other one. Why do you say that, miss? Who are you? The young girl replied, You're a fox spirit. You've made my mother so... Oh, you're a kitsune. Hey, you're a kitsune. You've made my mother so miserable. You harmed me. Azu stretched out her hand to slap her in the face. Unable to move, that young girl saw the incoming blow of the palm, but she could not dodge it. Ron Xingju hurriedly held out her hand and pulled Azu's arm, saying, Azu, you can't act rudely. Then she turned to the middle-aged woman and surveyed her. Seeing that the woman was holding a steel saber in her right hand, and there was a broken saber on the floor, she suddenly understood. So she said, That's right. You used two sabers. Your Sura saber Qin Hongmian, elder sister Qin. Yep. This middle-aged woman was none other than another lover of Duan Zhengchun's, Sura saber. What is Sura? Sura saber Qin Hongmian. And the young girl wearing black clothes was her daughter, Mu Wanqing. Qin Hongmian did not blame Duan Zhengchun for having love affairs everywhere, but she loathed the other woman for being prurient and seductive and snatching her bow. Therefore, after receiving a message from her Shime, Gan Bao Bao, she and her daughter Mu Wanqing had at once gone to assassinate Duan Zhengchun's wife, Dao Baifeng, and another lover of his. That's so many names. Oh, it's Asura saber. Gotcha. When she learned that Duan Zhengchun had another mistress called Ran Xingju, who was living in seclusion beside the little mirror lake, she immediately took her daughter along to go kill this woman. Damn. All right, give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. What's gonna happen? And we back. Okay. So it looks like Qin Hongmian and Mu Wanqing came here to kill Ran Xingju. Okay. So Qin Hongmian and Ran Xingju were both lovers of Duan Zhengchun. Qin Hongmian, seeing that Ran Xingju had recognized herself, shouted, Right, I'm Qin Hongmian. Who needs a harlot like you to call me elder sister? Temporarily, Ran Xingju was unable to guess why Qin Hongmian had come here. She was also afraid that if this love rival and Duan Zhengchun met each other, they would rekindle their old feelings, so she laughed and said, That's right, I said incorrectly. You're much younger than me, and you have such a great beauty, too. No wonder Duan Lang is so fascinated by you. You're my younger sister, not elder sister. Younger sister Qin. Duan Lang. So Duan Lang means dear Duan, dearest. Duan Lang misses you every day. You're engraved upon his mind. I really envy you your good fortune. When Qin Hongmian heard Ran Xingju praise her for being young and beautiful, the anger in her heart disappeared 3/10. So Ran Xingju is a sweet talker. I don't think her martial arts is very good, but she can talk. Qin Hongmian is just a hothead. And when she had heard Ran Xingju say that Duan Zhengchun missed her every day, her anger disappeared another 3/10. She says, Who wants you to sweet talk like this? You're sure used to flattering other people. Ran Xingju said, This young lady is your precious daughter, right? Well, younger sister Qin, it's a hard job to give birth to such a beauty. Noticing that the two women were harping on about romantic matters, Xiaofeng became impatient and did not want to hear more. As a straightforward and resolute fellow, after the heartbreaking sorrow was gone, he had once pondered how to handle important businesses in the future. Carrying Aju's body, he walked to the side of a hole and set her down in it. He grabbed the soil with his pair of big hands and slowly scattered it on her body. But all along, he did not scatter soil on her face. He looked at Aju without blinking. With just several more handfuls of soil scattered on her, he would never be able to see her again. His ears seemed to vaguely hear her voice, promising to go outside Yanmen Pass, to ride on horseback, go hunting, pasture cattle and sheep, and be with him for life. Less than one day before, she had still been saying these words, which sometimes were affectionate, sometimes were witty, sometimes were serious, and sometimes were mischievous. But from today on, he would never hear them again. From now on, the vow to pasture cattle and sheep at the frontier had come to naught. Xiao Feng knelt beside the grave for a very long time, but still he was unwilling to scatter soil on Aju's face. Lang is a term that ancient Chinese women used to call their lovers, like kun in Japanese in some cases. I see. Suddenly he rose. With a long howl, he stopped looking at Aju and pushed out his two hands at the same time, shoving all the soil beside the grave onto her body and face. He howled. With a long howl, he stopped looking at Aju and pushed out his two hands at the same time, shoving all the soil beside the grave onto her body and face. Then he turned around and walked into the room in the wing. He saw Ruan Xingju and Qin Hongmian were still talking unceasingly. Oh, are they friends now? Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Even though Ruan Xingju was being grieved, she was still artfully persuasive in speech and made Qin Hongmian totally pleased. The enmity between the two women had already been removed. Ruan Xingju said, "Chief Chow, this younger sister of mine offended you, but it was unintentional. I beg you to unblock their acupoints." Ruan Xingju was Aju's mother, so Xiao Feng certainly listened to her to a reasonable extent, let alone the fact that he already wanted to release these two people. At once he came near, stretched out his hands, and gave Qin Hongmian and Mu Wanqing a tap, each on their shoulders. The two of them only felt a stream of internal energy run from their shoulders to their blocked acupoints. In an instant, they were already able to move their limbs freely, as usual. The mother and the daughter exchanged a look. In their hearts, they exceedingly admired Xiao Feng for the depth of his internal energy. Xiao Feng turned to Azu and said, Younger sister Azu, could you please let me have a look at your father's calligraphic scroll?" Azu said, "I don't want you to call me younger sister this, younger sister that." Despite saying so, she dared not disobey, and still handed the scroll over to him. Xiao Feng unfolded the scroll and studied the words Duan Zhengchun had written several times again. Ruan Xingju's face turned a deep red all over. She said bashfully, "Oh, what's so interesting about these things?" Xiao Feng asked, "Where's Prince Duan now?" Ruan Xingju's face changed color greatly. She retreated several steps and said in a tremulous voice, Don't go find him again." I won't find him to make things difficult for him. I only want to ask him some things." Ruan Xingju was, of course, unwilling to believe him, so she said, "You already accidentally killed Aju. You shouldn't find him again." Xiao Feng knew that by no means would she be willing to say, so he did not ask her any more. He rolled up the scroll, returned it to Azu, and said, "With her last words, Aju told me to take care of her younger sister. Madame Duan, later on, if Azi encounters any difficulty, as long as Xiao Feng can offer any help, just tell me. I definitely won't decline. Ruan Xingju was very glad, thinking, if Azi has a supporter of great abilities like him in her life, misfortune will turn into luckiness, and accidents will turn into good things. So she said, I thank you very much, then. Azi, quickly, thank Big Brother Qiao. She changed Chief Qiao to Big Brother Qiao to make Azi and him become closer. Azi immediately pouted her lips and said in a scornful expression, what difficulty will I have to ask him to help? I have a master who is without equal under heaven and many Xixiong's. Why should I be afraid of being bullied by someone? He's like a clay bodhisattva fording a river, unable to protect himself. He can't handle his own matters and only makes mistakes. How can he still want me to help? How can he still want to help me with my problems? The more he'll help, the more problems he'll create, won't he? She let out a torrent of words with her clear and carefree voice. Several times, Ruan Xingju gave her hints with the eyes to stop her, but Azi pretended that she did not see them. Ruan Xingju stamped her feet and said, Alas, this child makes insolent, irresponsible remarks. Chief Qiao, please show some consideration for Aju and don't take offense at them. Xiao Fang said, my surname is Xiao, not Xiao. Azi said, Mom, this fellow doesn't even know his own surname. He's a big idiot. Ruan Xingju shouted, Azi! Xiao Fang took a bow with his hands folded, saying, I must now bid you farewell. Then he turned to Mu Wanqing and said, Miss Ruan, don't use these poisonous missiles of yours anymore. They're useless. On the contrary, if you meet an enemy of better skills, you'll unavoidably be harmed by them. Ouch. Before Mu Wanqing had replied, Azi said, Elder sister, don't listen to this nonsense. At worst, these missiles will miss the enemy. What harms can they have? Paying no attention to her, Xiao Feng turned around and walked out. When his left foot passed through the door, he took a swing with his right sleeve, causing a gust of wind with a buzzing sound. All the 7 short arrows that Mu Wanqing had shot at him earlier and had been knocked down by him got off the floor at the same time and flew fiercely towards Azi like lightning. Ayo! Azi only uttered an exclamation. How could she dodge in time? The 7 short arrows skimmed across the top of her head, the sides of her neck, and the sides of her body, before, with a pai sound, sticking deep up to the feathers in the wall behind her simultaneously. Ruan Xingju hastily rushed forwards, embraced Azi, and cried in fear, Younger sis Qin, quickly take out the antidote. Qin Hongmian said, Where is she wounded? Where is she wounded? Mu Wanqing hastily took out the antidote from her bosom and went to examine the condition of Azi's injuries. After a short while, Azi somewhat regained her composure. Only then did she say, They didn't hit me. Then the 4 women looked at the 7 short arrows on the wall at the same time, and all of them gasped with astonishment, and their faces changed color. It turned out Xiao Feng remembered Aju's last words, which asked him to take care of Azu. But he heard her say, I have a master who is without equal under heaven, and many Xixiong's. Why should I be afraid of being bullied by someone? For this reason, he swept away the arrows with the wind of his sleeve and gave her a scare, lest the little girl, who was ignorant of the immensity of the world and the impertinent due to her strong backing insomuch that she looked down on the heroes and bold men under heaven, unavoidably suffered in the future. Astonishment? Astonishment definition means like super surprised, like he's astonished, very surprised. Great surprise. Oh. He walked out of the bamboo forest, went to the side of the little mirror lake, found a big tree with luxuriant branches and foliage, and jumped onto it. He wanted to find Duan Zhengchun to ask clearly why Madame Ma deliberately cast the blame on him. But Ron Xingju simply was unwilling to reveal his whereabouts, so he himself had no choice but to follow in secret. Before long, he saw the 4 women come out. Qin Hongmian and daughter went ahead of Ron Xingju and her daughter. It looked like Ron Xingju was seeing the guests out. The 4 women walked to the side of the lake. Qin Hongmian said, "Elder sister, Ron, you and I feel like old friends at the first meeting. Because the former ill will between us has been dispelled, a matter of hatred in my mind has been eliminated. Now, I want to go find that lowly slave surnamed Kang. Do you know where she is?" Startled, Ron Xingju asked, "Younger sister, why do you want to find her?" Qin Hongmian said resentfully, "Originally, I and Duan Lang were living happy days. It was all because of the tricks of this lowly, slavish fox spirit." Ron Xingju thought for a little while and said, "That Kang, this harlot Kang Ming? I don't know where she is. When you found her, please give her several more stabs of the saber on my behalf." Oh, okay. She's also bloodthirsty. Impertinent definition? Uh-oh. Where is that? Impertinent. She is, I think it means arrogant. She's very arrogant due to her strong backing. Yeah. Like arrogant, not scared, right? Thinking she's all that. She's all like protected by her her master and stuff. Impertinent. Fuck. Oh, it means rude. God damn it. Well, if you're arrogant, you can be rude, can't you? Does that count? I think that counts. Being very arrogant can come off as rude. That's a song. God damn it. Alright, you guys get a song. Fine. Fine. Qin Hongmian said, "That goes without saying. I'm just afraid it won't be easy to find her. Alright, see you later. If you meet Duan Lang." Ron Xingju slightly shivered and said, "What should I do?" Qin Hongmian said, "You give him 2 heavy slaps in the face for me. 1 slap to settle my account, and 1 slap to settle my daughter's account." Ron Xingju laughed gently and said, "How can I meet this heartless, damnable fellow? Younger sister, when you see him, give him 2 slaps in the face for me as well. 1 for me, and 1 for Ah Zi. No, slapping won't be enough. Next, you give him 2 kicks for me. He fathered his daughters, but didn't take care of them, making me and my daughter so wretched and lonely." As she finished saying this, she shed tears. Qin Hongmian consoled her. "Sister, don't be..." Wow, she's so nice now. "Sister, don't be sad. After we've killed that harlot Kang, we'll return to be your companions." Xiao Feng, hiding on the tree, heard very clearly the conversation between the 2 women. He thought that Duan Zhengchun was not bad at martial arts, and rather benevolent and loyal to his friends, but he had abandoned himself to his love of feminine beauty, so he did not count as a hero. He saw Qin Hongmian pull Mu Wanqing, salute Ron Xingju and her daughter, and leave at once. Then Ron Xingju pulled Ah Zi's hand to go back to the bamboo forest. Seven Rings Karaoke. I don't know what that is. Africa from Toto. I don't know what that is either. Xiao Feng considered. Ran Xingju sure will go find Duan Zhengchun, but she's unwilling to go together with Qin Hongmian, that's all. She said that she came to take this scroll, so Duan Zhengchun is definitely waiting not far up ahead. I'm just going to observe from here. Suddenly, there were soft sounds in a thicket, and two people in black clothes quietly walked out. But they were Qin Hongmian and her daughter returning. He heard Qin Hongmian say in a low voice, Wan Er, how could you be so careless and easily tricked by them? There's a pair of male shoes under the couch in elder sister Ron's bedroom. The toe caps are embroidered with two words. The left shoe has the word mountain, and the right shoe has the word river. Of course, they're your father's shoes. The shoes are very new, and the mud on their sole isn't dry yet. Obviously, your father is near here. Oh, she is not tricked. Okay. She was also being tricky. All right, cool. So she noticed a pair of shoes under the couch. So now she knows that Duan Jingchun is near. So she was just pretending to be nice. Mu Wanqing said, so this woman's surname Ron fooled us. Qin Hongmian said, yes. How can she be willing to let that unfaithful fellow meet us? Mu Wanqing said, Father has no conscience. Mom, you need not meet him. After keeping silent for quite a while, Qin Hongmian said, I want to see him, but I don't want to see him. We've been separate for so many days. He's already old, and your mother's already too old too. These few sentences were very simple, but the words contained deep emotions. Mu Wanqing said, all right. Her voice sounded very sorrowful. Ever since she and Duan Yu had parted company, her memory of him had grown day by day. But knowing clearly that this was a love that would go nowhere, she dared not show the load on her mind before her mother. Qin Hongmian said, we only need to keep watch from here. I think your father will arrive soon. As she finished saying this, she pushed the long grass apart and hid herself in it. After that, Mu Wanqing hid behind a tree. In the dull starlight, Xiao Feng saw that Qin Hongmian's pale face was slightly red. Obviously, she was deeply stirred. He thought, love wears people out to such an extent. But he also immediately thought of Ah Zhu and could not help feeling a burst of pain in his heart. Not long after, quick footsteps were heard on the path. Xiao Feng thought, this person isn't Duan Zhengchun, probably his subordinate. Sure enough, when that person rushed near him, he recognized that it was Zhu Dan-chen, the fellow who had drawn in reverse on the bridge. Ran Xingju had already heard the footsteps, but she was unable to know who this person was. She only thought that it was Duan Zhengchun, so she called, Duan Lang, and quickly came out to meet him. Azu came out with her. Zhu Danchen bowed down to the ground, saying, my lord has ordered his subordinate to report that he has an urgent matter, so he is unable to return today. He left. Startled, Ran Xingju asked, what's the matter? When will he return? Zhu Danchen replied, this matter is related to the Mu Rong family of Gusu. It seems the whereabouts of Mr. Mu Rong has been discovered. My lord has gone north on a 10,000-li journey to find this man. My lord said that after handling this important matter, he would return to the side of the Little Mirror Lake at once for a reunion. Madam needs not worry. Tears welling up in her eyes, Ran Xingju said in a voice choked with emotions, He's always said he'd return at once, but every time he wouldn't see me for 3 to 5 years. I had a really hard time waiting for him to come here, yet. Zhu Danchen was exceedingly upset and indignant about how Azu had angered Chu Wanli to death. Duan Zhengchun's words had been passed on, so he was unwilling to remain here any longer. He bowed slightly, turned around, and left. From start to finish, he did not cast a look at Azu. Ran Xingju, waiting until he had gone, said to Azu in a low voice, your lightness skill is much better than mine. Quickly, follow him, and leave identification marks on the way for me. I'll follow soon after. Azu pouted her lips, laughed, and said, You asked me to trail father? So what's the reward? Ron Xingju said, Everything Mom has is already yours. What reward do you still want? Azu said, All right, I'll write a Duan character on the corners of the walls, then draw an arrow so that you know. Ron Xingju hugged her daughter's shoulders and said with gladness, Good daughter. Azu laughed and said, Infatuated mommy. Then she raised herself up and chased after Chu Danchen. Ron Xingju stood beside the little mirror lake for a long time. Then she went along the small path. As soon as she had gone, Qin Hongmian and her daughter successively appeared. Okay, so these two are following those two. The two of them made gestures with their hands and followed behind her. Xiao Feng thought, Azu already is leaving signs on the way. It'll be very easy to find Duan Zhengchun. When he had taken several steps, suddenly, in the moonlight, he saw his own reflection in the lake. He felt sad, disappointed, and very lonely, and his heart ached. He wanted to return to the bamboo forest to sit in front of Aju's grave again for a while. However, in an instant, his heroic spirit surged up, and he sent out a blow of the palm. The energy wind of his attack hit the lake and splashed the water all around. The reflection in the lake also turned into a mass of fragments. With a long howl, he left with big strides. During the several days later, he set out at daybreak and slept at night, drinking very much but eating little. Every time he arrived in a town, he saw a Duan character and an arrow showing the direction left by Azu at the foot of a wall. Sometimes Ron Xingju, after seeing them, scraped them off, but the vestige of the signs could still be recognized. On the way to the north, it gradually got cold. That day, not long after he had gone outside, it started to snow heavily. Snowflakes floated to and fro, up and down in the air. Xiao Feng kept going until noon. Then he went into a small wine shop and consumed 12 or 13 bowls of spirit. When his addiction to wine had not yet been slaked, the shop was already out of wine. Very disappointed, he ran for a while with big strides and came towards a big city. As he drew near, he was slightly shocked. It turned out he had arrived in Xinyang. On the way, he had only searched for the signs left by Azu and thought of his own worries, so he had paid no attention to his surroundings, insomuch that he had unexpectedly returned to Xinyang. If he really wanted to find Duan Zhengchun, it would be as easy as raising his hand, only rushing faster in one day or half a day, and he would definitely catch up with Duan Zhengchun. But ever since the death of Aju, his mind had always been empty. He did not know how he should pass the time. In his mind, he had always thought, What should I do after catching up with Duan Zhengchun? When I've found the prime villain and got revenge, what should I do? When I've returned to the outside of Yanmen Pass alone to go hunting and pasture sheep in the great desert of wind and sand, what should I do? As a result, he had not been in hot pursuit all along. After entering the city of Xinyang, he saw a Duan character written in charcoal at the foot of the city wall. Beside the character was an arrow pointing westward. He felt a burst of distress in his mind as he recalled that day he and Aju, side by side, had gone to Madame Ma's house in the west of the city of Xinyang to tactfully sound her out. Today, thinking back, he felt that every step at that time had pushed Aju closer to the underworld by one step. After he had gone 5 or 6 li, the north wind became fierce, and the snow fell more heavily. Following the signs left by Azu, he went westwards. These signs were new and had been left not long before. Some of the signs were left by scraping away the bark of trees and writing on them. On the bowls, the resins at the places scraped by the knife had not yet congealed. The direction of the signs was none other than Ma Da Yuan's house. No. Wait, is Duan Zhengchun going to Madame Ma's house? Is that what's happening? Xiao Feng was secretly mystified, thinking, could it be that Duan Zhengchun knows Madame Ma framed him, so he finds her to settle the score? That's right. When Aju talked to me in her dying moment at the Blue Stone Bridge, she mentioned Madame Ma. Azu heard it and must have told her father, but we only said Madame Ma. How can he know that she is this Madame Ma? On the way, he had been depressed and rather dazed, but this moment, as he met a very unusual matter, his spirit rose at once, and the vigilance that he had had when engaging in battles with strong enemies in former days were restored. Seeing an abandoned shrine by the roadside, he immediately entered it, closed the door, lay down, and slept for 6 hours. Only at the second watch did he come out and go towards the house of Ma Dayuan. Second watch is 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. When approaching the house, he hid behind a tree and looked carefully at the surroundings. After he had observed for a while, a faint smile appeared at the corners of his mouth because he saw two people hiding on the northeast side of the house of the Ma family. Judging from their appearance, they were Ron Xingju and Ah Zi. After that, he saw Qin Hongmian and her daughter hiding in the southeast corner of the house. In this moment, the heavy snow had not yet ceased, so the four women were all piled on with a layer of white snow. Okay, so all four women are sneaking around the house. A dull yellow light came out through the window of the room in the east wing, and there was only silence. Xiao Feng broke a branch off and threw it into the east. A soft pai sound was heard as it fell on the ground. Ran Xingju and the other three women all looked in the direction of the sound. With a gentle leap, he already arrived at the underside of the window of the room in the east wing. The weather was cold and the ground was frozen. All the windows of the Ma family house had wooden boards. Xiao Feng waited for a while. He heard a gust of north wind coming whistling. Waiting until this gust of wind was about to reach the window, he lightly sent out a blow of the palm. His palm force and that gust of wind hit the wooden board of the window at the same time. With a kala sound, the wooden board was broken. Even the window paper inside was also left with a crack. Even though the people, such as Qin Hongmian and Ruan Xingju, were in the area around the house, they were not aware of this because the palm wind and the north wind totally coincided with each other. If there was someone in the room, they would not be able to detect this either. Xiao Feng put his eye next to the crack and looked inside. At first sight, he was dumbfounded, as if he did not believe his own eyes. He saw Duan Zhengchun wearing a short jacket and a small hat, sitting cross-legged on the edge of the earthen bed, holding a wine cup in his hand, grinning and looking at a woman who was sitting by the side of the small bed table. That woman was wearing white mourning attire and had a light makeup on. The tips of her eyebrows and the corners of her eyes were brimming with passion. Her pair of watery, glistening eyes looked as if they were about to shed water. Like smiling without smiling, like being angry without being angry, she looked sideways at Duan Zhengchun. She was none other than the widow of Ma Dayuan, Madame Ma. Dun dun dun. All right. Did you guys like that? Okay. So it looks like Madame Ma is also another lover of this fucking Duan Zhengchun. What's going on? This guy. This guy. How many lovers does he have that we know of? Like five? 5 or 6? Jesus. Four plus wife? Are you sure? Wait, let me get a drink. So many women are gonna be so pissed off with him. Yeah. I wonder if they'll all meet. What happens if they're all in a room with each other? That'll be fun times. No, no, not that. Alright, cheers. Oh, geography time? Okay, let's do it. We can do that. Before the song. Alright, is it Africa? Africa geography quiz. Okay. How did we do last time? Was it like 50% or something? Oh god. Alright. I'm not so sure about today, guys. I think it's gonna be less than 50%, but we'll see. Alright. Malawi. Oof. Nope. Nope, nope. Malawi. Egypt. Comoros. Peepzilla. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Comoros. Where's Comoros? Mauritius. What the hell? Rwanda. Oh god. Cameroon. Oh god, where is that? One of these? These? Republic of the Congo. I think it's here. Liberia. 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 No! Tunisia. Oh god. Is it here? Yep. Djibouti. Yeah. Somalia. Tanzania. Is it Tanzania or Tanzania? Tanzania, right? Tanzania. Here. 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 Ah. Sudan is here. Togo. Zimbabwe. Western Sahara. Zambia. Oh, I don't know. Why do I think it's always there? Nigeria is... No, that's not it. Wait, what is that? This is Algeria. I think Nigeria is here? Or here? Here. Fuck! Eswatini. Oh, no idea. Benin. Eswatini. Okay. Why are you down there? South Sudan. Democratic Republic. Mozambique. Oof. Oof. Okay. Ghana. One of these? One of these? Nice. Niger is up here. Gabon. Gambia. Ivory Coast. Oh, it's one of these. Fuck. God damn it. Chad. No! Chad. Mauritania. Hmm. Hmm. Guinea. Okay. Cape Verde. Sierra Leone. Oh, one of these. I know it. Okay. Libya. Here. Guinea-Bissau. Is it? I think we saw that, right? Yeah. Burundi. One of these, I think. Eritrea is here. Benin. Here. 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 Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. Central African Republic. This is center, right? Madagascar. Equatorial Guinea. Sao Tome and Principe. Botswana. Seychelles is an island. I think it's here. Okay. Angola. One of these, I think. Here. No. No. Rwanda. Gambia is here. No. Mali. Ethiopia. South Africa. Kenya. Ah. Morocco. Uganda. No. Uganda. Namibia. Senegal. Algeria. Ah, 48. No. We had 50. At least last time. Okay. Going backwards, guys. Backwards. We're never gonna get it. It's impossible. No one knows. No one knows the countries in Africa. All right. Are you assholes? What song should I sing? Oh, what about Bukowski? What is that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what shout is. Poker face. I think we did poker face, right? We did that one time. I got something easy tonight, guys. Something easy. Tonight. Oh. Save Tonight. Or how about Save Tonight by what's his face? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Eagle Eye Cherry. Tun, 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 tun. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're doing Save Tonight. Nope, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. That's what we're doing.